Hello student, myself Santosh Rajput. From the last video we are studying about the property of materials, right? This is one of the property of material solubility. So today we will see that you might have observed that if we put some sugar or salt in water contained in tumbler and stir it well, they disappear in water completely. We say that salt and sugar are soluble in water. Water is called solvent and sugar or salt are called solute. In this case, let us find out whether the other substances like sand, talcum powder, wax, chalk powder, soap, etc. are also soluble in water or not. Basically, we are talking about the solution here. You can see that one beaker have been taken here and some amount of water is filled in that. As you can see, water in large amount and sugar is added in a small quantity. So whichever the material is in large amount, it is called solvent, and in less amount sugar is that, so sugar is called solute, right? And whatever the mixture have been prepared, that is called solution, right? So the case is that sugar is soluble in water or not. Sugar is soluble and salt is also soluble. So we will see which materials are soluble and which materials are not soluble, right? So see here, one activity is given. Take water in 5 different tumbler, add a little sand, crushed soap, talcum powder, chalk powder and wax to water in different tumbler. Stir the container well with the rod or spoon. What do you observe? After some times, record in a tabular form as shown. 2 examples are done for you. Here is the example given: substance added to the water, right? These and observation, and soluble or insoluble you have to say, right? Sand does not disappear in water, insoluble, right? So crushed soap disappear completely, so that is soluble, right? Talcum powder does not disappear, right? It is insoluble. Chalk powder does not disappear, it is insoluble. Wax does not disappear, it is insoluble. I have done for you, right? Here the role of water as a solvent is important in our lives. However, the water is not only solvent used for dissolving other substance. Kerosene oil, petrol, ether, etc. are some of the other liquids which are also used as solvent, right? These are also used as a solvent, right? Here now, do liquid also dissolve or mix with water? Let us try to get answer to this question. Okay, you see, take water in a 5 different tumbler, add a little milk, coconut oil or ghee, kerosene oil and shampoo to water, right? Respectively in the tumbler. Stir the content well in each tumbler with a spoon. What do you observe after some times, right? Record your observation in tabular form as shown here. 2 examples are done for you, right? Here you can see that liquid put in water, right? Like milk, coconut oil, ghee, kerosene oil, shampoo. And now your observation: mixes with water, add milk to water, mix with water completely, right? Coconut oil, if you add it, does not mix with water and form a separate layer. Likewise ghee does not mix, right, with water and form separate layer, right? And kerosene, it is also does the same thing, does not mix with the water and form a separate layer. A shampoo mixes with water, right, completely. And here as you can see, in the both beaker, one beaker lemon juice have been taken and the second one mustard oil and water, right? Immiscible liquid form a separate layer in water. As you can see, mustard oil mix into the water and forming a separate layer, and miscible liquids form a uniform solution with water, right? Lemon juice, as you can see, all water become whitish, so it is completely soluble. Here we can say that some liquid mix with the water completely, these said to be miscible with water, right? Students, where we dissolve a solid into liquid, that is called soluble or insoluble. If we dissolve liquid in liquid, that is called miscible or immiscible, right? And here in case of both solvent and solute are both the liquid, so we say we use this word miscible or immiscible. If one is liquid and other is solid, then we use that for solid we use we use soluble or insoluble, right? Example, milk or lemon juice. Other liquid like mustard oil, petrol, hair oil, etc. do not mix with water and called immiscible with water, right? It is also useful to know that air gets dissolved in water some extent to some extent. Aquatic plants and animals survive in water on dissolved air, right? Here one inside is given, coals and sodas contain carbon dioxide gas dissolved in them. This gives them their fizz, right? Carbon dioxide is dissolved in this whatever cold drinks you used to drink, right? Here it is also useful to know that air gets dissolved in water some extent, right? To some extent, aquatic plants and animals survive in water on dissolved air. As you can see, the fishes survive in water, right? Because their gills are designed to filter the oxygen from the water, right? If we try to breathe in water, we can't breathe because our lungs are not made for water. Fishes gills are made to survive in water, so they can easily filter the oxygen from water. If you put a wooden block in a river, it will float, right? Of course, we shall notice that if we put different objects, right, different objects in water, these either sink or remain on its surface, float. Or example, a coin and iron nails, stone, etc. sink, whereas pencil, ice, toothbrush, plastic bottle, etc. float on surface of water because density is less than water, and so they will float. Let us identify which common object floats or sink in water by performing a simple activity. Here you can see floating and sinking materials have been shown here in one beaker. Activity 13. Collect 10 easily available objects in your surrounding at home. Test whether they are float or sink by putting them one by one in water contained in a vessel, right? Record your observation in a tabular form. Show below. Two examples are done for you, right? Here is a substance and here float or sink you have to say. Plastic mug floats, rubber ball floats, eraser floats, cork floats, wood piece floats, plastic bottle that floats, steel spoon sink, pen sink, glass, marbles, cardboard piece, they all sink, right? Here, have you ever thought why objects sink or floats? Discuss with your friends to know the reason. Ask your parents or teachers about this, about it to know the exact explanation, right? Because the density is, when the density of object is more than water, they will sink, and when the density of the object is less than water, it will float, right? Why does the ship made up of wood and metal float although it contains a lot of weight? Does it have sometimes do it with its shape? Yes, because the streamlined shape, they have the flat shape onto the water, right? They provide a larger surface area, and wood is the wood is density is less than water, so it will float on water. The ship easily float on water. Substance can be grouped into categories according to their behavior towards the magnet. The substance which get attracted towards the magnet are called magnetic substance, like iron, nickel and cobalt. If you try to attract with the magnet, it will be attracted. The substance which do not get attracted towards the magnet are called non-magnetic, right? Substance, plastic, glass, rubber, liquid and gases, right? As you can see, here is a picture given about magnetic substance. Iron nails attracting towards the magnet, right? Your refrigeration. Here, why do the magnetic sticker stay on the refrigeration dude? Refrigerator dude. It is your refrigerator made of magnetic substance. Here, conductivity. our body is a good conductor of electricity, right? Conductivity of some substance like most of the metal which allow the electricity pass through them are called conductors of electricity. The property is called conductivity. Other metal do not allow the electricity pass through them are called insulator, right? Which do not allow the which are not conductor of electricity, they are called insulator. Conductivity of or heat, right? Conduction of heat, some materials good conductor of heat while others are bad. We can group the materials into two classes on the basis of conduction, right, of heat through them. Good conductor, substance which allow the heat to pass through them. Example, most of the metal, silver is the best conductor of electricity. Bad conductor, the substances which do not allow the heat to pass through them. Example, plastic, wood, rubber, etc., right? Here inside mercury is a good conductor of heat. This is why it is used in the thermometer, right? Why do handles of the utensils have plastic wooden covering on them? Because they are the bad conductor of heat, as we know, and they won't allow heat to pass through them and prevent a hand injury. That's why. Matter can classified on the basis of physical state, solubility, appearance, and hardness. A transparency of conduction of heat and electricity, which makes their study convenient and also helps in the deciding their uses in a different field, right? So that's all we have for the day. That chapter ends, right? Thank you very much.